to Pembrey. It's Thundersport GB, it's GP Racing Dream, and it's the Aprilia Super Teams. Steve, we've been privileged to watch an absolutely superb race from here already. And, well, I have a suspicion the action's going to be even hotter this time round. We're getting towards the end of the season. The championship is tightening up.
Yes, it's very interesting now. Just 18 points going into this race separates young Joe Francis here and Tom Oliver, number 20. But David Allingham there, you just see him waving, wants in on the action. Ben Luxton, who unfortunately fell at Honda Curve last time, he'll want to get on the podium. And how can you really count out the likes of Brad Jones, Ross Twyman and Harry Coomber as they get away? And that was a fantastic start from David Allingham in second position.
Yeah, very determined, isn't he? Look at him, number 3. He'll be holding his line down into Hatchett's. This wicked hairpin down here, but look at the championship points leader, Tom Oliver, number 20 in second place, cleanly through there and chasing Allingham.
Joe Francis didn't get off the line very well. He's down in about 6th position, but we'll keep an eye on him as they head through this turn, because this is where he's very, very quick. The rest of the super teams just filter through. There's Robin Lindsay, and that's Russell Brown as well, 2-1-2, just towards the back. But at the front, it's David Allingham, number 3 of Northern Ireland, that leads from Tom Oliver. In 3rd position, it's Brad Jones. Clinton Carver up into 4th position.
Absolutely splendid start from Clinton. He was on the 3rd row of the grid, an absolute rocket ship start. And look, he's holding it, Steve. He's got that group behind him.
Up to 3rd position, but Joe Francis shoots from the outside, up the inside into Honda Curve. So Francis now should be up into 3rd position, and is.
I have to say, you're also tucked in there at 6th base, George Stanley. Another of these youngsters have made huge improvements over the last few events.
Oliver up the inside, Francis there in 3rd, Stanley up into 4th position. Yes, George Stanley, I think if he has another season in Aprilia Super Teams, we could well be seeing his name at the top of the leaderboards soon enough. And we've lost a rider already. Is that Coomber?
That's Harry Coomber, yes. Oh, what a shame for Harry. And, well, he's fine. The bike isn't. He's been wheeled into a place of safety. Yes, George Stanley, Milo Walters, a lot of these young riders. And I really hope we do see them next season as well. You know, it's an old bugbear of mine, but I always think that some riders move on from championships too soon, right across the board. And I think all these youngsters could do enormously well and benefit from another year, certainly at this level. It's such good competitive racing. They're not going to learn head-to-head racing like this anywhere else.
George Stanley there, just going around Honda Curve, and that's Clinton Carver, the young Welsh rider here on home turf, you could say. But at the front, it's Tom Oliver, and he's being pestered here by David Allingham. Allingham's all over him like an angry wasp, and Oliver could really just do with trying to get in some fast laps here, because Joe Francis in 3rd is catching them.
Yeah, Joe, as we say, he had that poor start, but look at it. He's, well, the dog can see the rabbit now. There he is. That red helmet there in 3rd place, and now he's coming up to his favourite spot around the clubhouse, hugging that line there. And you can see every time we see him, he just gains a few yards, the extra couple of metres, as he just tries to get past underneath Tom Oliver there.
And up the inside he goes, Francis. Some beautiful lines from Francis around this Pembrey circuit. It really is a rider's track, and he's going to look to try and do 2 in 2 corners here. Surely not into the very quick Woodlands. Yes, unbelievable. Up the inside into Woodlands. That's the fastest point of the circuit, in top gear, flat out.
Lovely stuff. David Allingham trying to come back at Tom Oliver there. Once again, we have to give a nod to Tom Oliver. He's led this championship for so long now, but just as it's getting really, really tight in the championship, he's still very, very racy. And look, stuffs it up the inside at Hatchett's, moves through into the lead. For how long? Who knows? Joe Francis right on his tail, but Oliver back to the front.
Yes, Oliver's coping with the pressure relatively well. He entered the weekend here in Wales. Oh, and Francis is surely going up the inside. Yeah, into clubhouse once more. Oliver entered the round 40 points ahead of Joe Francis. If things were to stay as they are, it would be down to just about 13, 14 points. So it's a big lot of points to lose, and it may just go down to the last race, and we've seen plenty of them in the Aprilia Super Teams before.
There's a lot of racing to go, of course, this year. They've had, it seems like a season and a half already. They've been at it, 4 races every weekend that Thundersport's been out there. They've still got Brands Hatch at Alton Park, Mallory Park to go after this race here. And frankly, well, you'd be a fool to put your two bob on who's going to win this. They are at it like knives once again, these three.
Tom Oliver perhaps rehearsing a move up the inside there. This is where Tom is very quick. On the brakes into Hatchets, he's got that line sorted, but unfortunately, it's right at the start of the lap. And he runs wide there, and by the time Francis has got past him, it's basically he's quicker in the wrong part of the circuit. A little bit further back, that's Alex Baker, Matt Schillings, Ben Luxton being caught up, Aaron Coupland also just a little bit further back. So Luxton really struggling in this race after that crash in the first one.
Yeah, not sure whether it's the bike or him, or maybe both. It's a little unsettled after that earlier incident, but obviously we wish him well. There's Joe Francis still up the front from Oliver. And there, David Allingham going through, and just behind him, Brad Jones once again having a really good race. But who's he got right behind him? Milo Ward, another of our very impressive, if you like, improvers as far as the second half of the season's concerned.
Yeah, Milo Ward, I think you may well be seeing him on the overall Aprilia Super Team podium before the end of the season. At the front here is Joe Francis, second in the championship, leading the newcomers with Tom Oliver, the overall leader, just behind him. David Allingham, though, is not going away. A little bit further back, there's Ross Twyman and George Stanley, number 5.
Yeah, 41 running through there. Is Milo Ward. He's just dropped back a couple of positions, but that's a wonderful bum fight going on behind the leaders. Swapping positions again, corner by corner. And you wouldn't want to call who's going to finish fourth in this, beg your pardon, but up the front, well, Tom Oliver and Joe Francis once again underneath him at Brooklands.
He's just carrying so much more corner speed around nearly every turn here, and Oliver may be quite quick on the brakes, but he's just letting him pass at the wrong point here. There's Alex Baker, Luxton, Schillings, Aaron Coupland. We've also got in there Josh Hill. These are battles for points further down the field.
Yep, a lot of bones to be made even at this stage of the season. And look at this, Tom Oliver now trying round the outside into Hatchets. Up the inside has been his favourite so far, but he proves that that's his corner, come what may. But as we were saying earlier, Steve, it doesn't really matter about the first corner. You want to be the master of the last corner, particularly here at Pembroke.
Yes, and I think Joe Francis is going to have a look there. You notice into this first corner, to begin with, you might think that it's quite a bumpy entry, but there are one or two Aprilia Super Teams front ends that are chattering into turn 1. Joe Francis actually is one of those riders. Tom Oliver a lot smoother around there, so maybe a few front-end problems into there, but certainly the rest of the circuit, Joe Francis has got it sussed. And into Brooklands, so far he's done it 3 times this race already. There's the 4th.
Yeah, knees scraping on the ground all round, but as you said, carrying the speed. Joe Francis, very, very smooth. It's the run-up through Speedway and Woodlands down to Honda, and it's very, very quick. Goodness me, Tom Oliver, that's big and brave there. Coming up the inside, well, he's got the measure of Joe Francis this time, and there's the last lap flag. And is this key, Steve? Because for the first time in this race, Tom Oliver really proving that he can get to that line in front.
He is, but for the first time, he's actually going to lose out into Hatchet's hairpin. So it's completely reversed, and this now means Joe Francis, for the first time, goes into the very quick left-hander with clear air, so he's going to be able to perhaps break the pair of them.
Well, we'll see Tom Oliver with the fastest lap of the race so far, and there we see Ross Twyman still involved in that battle with Milo Ward and George Stanley. But up the front, well, a fantastic race once again, and there, just a quick chance to see Ben Luxton. Well, making up a few places, Steve, that'll cheer him up a little.
Yeah, that moves him up into 10th position. So that will be 6 points for Ben if he can keep it where it is. But he's got 4 or 5 hungry riders chasing his tail up the front. How are things getting on and how much of an advantage? Well, look at that. Francis has managed to break Tom Oliver and David Allingham now.
Well, it looks like it's going to be all about the chase for who's going to be second, because Joe Francis smoothly around Honda. Checker flag is being given to Mayer. He takes the win. Tom Oliver, the championship points leader, hanging on for second place there. But Joe Francis, a perfect weekend, closes the championship in even more. It's going to be an absolute cracker for the rest of the season, Steve.
That's 4 from 4 wins, and the championship battle now down to just 11.
And And there's confirmation: Joe Francis, Tom Oliver, David Allingham, Bradley Jones, Milo Ward, Ross Twyman, George Stanley, Clinton Carver, Max Simmons and Ben Luxton. There we see Joe Francis, Tom Oliver and David Allingham on the podium. That's the 1, 2, 3 overall. And there, the championship standings. Confirmation that Tom Oliver leads by just 11 points from Joe Francis. All to play for. It's game on. And in the Nitro newcomers, well, they're on the podium. Joe Francis, David Allingham and Milo Ward, the 1, 2, 3. In the Nitro newcomer standings, well, a handsome lead for Joe Francis from David Allingham, Milo Ward, Alex Baker, George Stanley and Ryan Longshaw. That's the top half dozen.
Joe Francis, winner of the Nitro Newcomers Cup and indeed the Aprilia Super Teens overall. You must be overjoyed. What a superb performance.
Yeah, it's been a great weekend. I couldn't have asked for a better weekend. We've had 4 wins out of 4 and gained loads of points on Tom in the championship, which is good. So just try and carry on chipping away at his lead.
Excellent, very well done. Who'd you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Bennett's Biker Dream, Motrack Racing for a great bike, Thundersport Dunlop Aprilia, Graham Lon, Trevor Baker, my little brother Jacob, mum and dad, and my nan and granddad.
Excellent, very well done, good one.
Thank you.
Tom Oliver, 2nd place in the Aprilia Super Teens. I know you'll be a bit disappointed, but hey, it's 2 seconds, big bag full of points this weekend.
Yeah, well, I can't be disappointed with it. I mean, I've finished all the races, so I've just got to look forward to Brands now and hopefully we get some wins there.
Yeah, and who'd you like to thank, Tom?
I just want to thank my dad and everyone who's helped out. Just everyone who's helped this season, and that's
excellent.
It.
Very well done, Tom.
We changed the gearing in the bike, and then it didn't work out. So then we were finding it really hard to stay with these guys at the front. The last couple of laps, then I just really put my head down and kept pushing and pushing, and got on the back of them, and ended up 3rd. So
excellent, very, very well done. Who'd you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Dave and Bernadette for running the championship, Nitro, Dunlop, and the Thundersport TV.
Thanks very much and very well done.
Well, brilliant stuff from the Aprilia Super Teens on GP Racing Dream. For myself, Robin Murphy, and from Steve Day, we've had a brilliant Pembury. We'll see you after the action next at Brands Hatch.